Hi everyone, Sean back from the Sci-Fi Model Guy, and everyone, we are finally here. We finally finished the Constellation B. If you recall, this is the Enterprise C kit that I redesigned to kind of look more like a Constitution class. I just kind of like the way that looks better. And the whole thing stemmed from the fact that the nacelles, in my opinion, were a little too close to the saucer. So I said, you know, why don't I change that, make it look more like a Constitution or a Constitution redesign, something from the next generation era or something like that. It started off with just kind of a, you know, maybe it was an NX or a prototype of the Ambassador class, and it just kind of took a life of its own. So I just made the ship. I just think it's cool. So that's the good part. I think it's cool. I really like this. But the bad part is, guys, I made a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of sloppiness here. The nacelles are kind of a mess with the lighting. They're actually not even parallel to the saucer section. Like they're kind of up a little bit, and the saucer's down just a tiny bit. When you look at the video, you'll see it. It's probably something that you would have seen on your own. I wouldn't have had to point it out. So in a lot of ways, I'm a little bit saddened that this isn't an absolutely perfect ship. But again, like, we are our own worst critics, and I've shown this to a few people. Everyone says it's really nice. I know they're not just being nice, you know, that it actually does look cool. I love the design. That's the kind of the thing I'm a little down about. However, this is a learning channel. I'm doing this to learn right along with you guys, so I can show you what I've picked up and things I'm trying. This is the first kit that I have ever done, like a kit bash or anything custom. I've done little things here and there, tiny things, but this is something like, I mean, I just tore apart the nacelle section on the back part of the Ambassador class, made it look, you know, with the swooping pylons and everything, and just kind of just did a lot of work. This took so long, you guys. I am so glad this is done. I learned quite a bit, but I think the hardest part for this was taking out the panel lines. When I made that decision to really make the ship unique, that was the hardest part, and that just took me forever. This ship was a slog to make, and that's the reason I think I'm a little bit disappointed with the outcome, because I put so much work into this, and it's not just perfect. But that's okay. Like I said, I'm not sad overall. Overall, I'm happy. I think she looks cool. And I hope you guys all think so too. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and do the fly around of the ship, turn the lights off and everything, and talk about it, and show you kind of what I like. The custom decals came out really cool, so that's really nice. I learned a lot with that. Anyway, the next build, you guys, are going to be very, very simple. We're going to do the Enterprise NX-01 refit. I haven't done that one. We're going to make that for my buddy Admiral Teag over at Saving Star Trek. And on a Saturday nights, we do a Star Trek watch party. So check us out there. I'll put the link in the description, and come and check us out. It's Saving Star Trek, and right now we're working on the show Enterprise. And we're going to get to the original series here in a month or two. So we're having really cool discussions. It's a lot of fun. Come join us if you're into Star Trek. Come over, and you can hear us just wax poetic and reminisce, and we do watch parties for the show. So come check us out. It's link is in the description. Anyway, thanks guys again for your patience. I know this has taken so long to do. It was a real slog, and I was doing the dual build series at the same time, so that took a lot of time. I promise we're going to get some more ships cranked out here. Got some really good stuff planned for you guys, and we will see you down the road. Take care. Well, everyone, here she is. Not lit yet, of course. We're going to hold back on that. We're going to just go around here and show you all the scars that are on the ship, and there are plenty. So we'll start here, I guess, with the nacelles. Let's get the worst out of the way. So on the top, the nacelles came out pretty good as far as getting rid of all those little spiny things. So now all this is like CA glue and baking soda that I sanded down, put the decals on there. I tried to make kind of like the tiger stripe thing going on there, but when I get to the explanation of why, so you can see here, it's all chunked up, and there's some real bad work here, guys. You know, again, not super thrilled with the way that the nacelles turned out. I think that's the worst. You can see here, even in this kind of light here, we'll move the light around here, and you can really see the scars here. The nacelles, for whatever reason, just did not fit in right. These clear plastic parts just would not fill the gaps. There were horrible light leaks coming out of there, and I'm pretty sure that the reason was because we put so much CA glue and so much Instaset there, which makes the glue dry and get hot. I think it just warped these things like really badly. So I had to put layers and layers and layers of solar res in here just to get it to fill. And then I had to paint the solar res. So it really did turn out real chunky, you guys. So lesson learned for that. If I ever do something like this again, especially for these kind of engines, I almost dropped the model there. If I ever do anything like this again, I am not going to touch the engines and do that. I'll just leave them the way that they are, or do something a little bit more simple. Yeah, so the paint job really came out bad. So let me get some better light here, and so you can see what's going on. Okay, that's a little bit better. So here's a little bit more light. You can see there, it is just chunky. And again, I had no choice but to do this, you guys, because the gaps were just so bad. Well, here is one cool thing. So I did get these custom decals done. They look pretty nice. It's Starship, U.S.S, Constellation, United Federation of Planets. It's the same format of the decal that's on the Enterprise C. The other thing that happened here is that the Bussard collectors really got messed up, you guys, because I had to paint this thing over and over so many times, and I ended up with overspray. I was getting a little bit frustrated, so you can even see without the power up that the paint is not consistent. And I decided here to let it go. I could have sanded this down, really masked it off and repainted it, but you know, how much more am I going to improve this thing beyond the errors that were already there? So I think the risk was just too great of really messing this up. So I just went ahead and continued. So let's go to the front of the ship and the saucer section. And this part, guys, really came out nice. I'm very pleased with this. There are no errors. There's no paint problems here. You can still see kind of some of the lines, but you can't feel them. So you can see that in the close-up light, but when we back out to kind of viewing distance here, the camera here is about a foot away. You don't notice those things. So again, this is a good example of you know, really kind of not worrying too much about things when you look at them like close up, because people aren't going to come up in your ship and look at it like that and go, ah, look, I see the lines there. This is horrible. No, it from a viewing distance, it looks good. So right here, I do have a little bit of peeling off on the decal that I still have to put some water down and tab that down. I'm not really comfortable putting a microset or microsalt on this. These are homemade decals, you guys. It's from an inkjet printer, so it's not laser printed. So I had to be very careful. These things, you got to really coat them with a lot of clear coat, and then even then they will run. The paper will tend to tear a little bit. So you got to be, you know, once you get it down and it looks okay, you got to just go with it. So I'm getting better at laying these things down, but I just got to get a little water there and push those air bubbles out, or get a little knife and push it out, and it'll be fine. Right here, the phaser arrays, I got these from the Enterprise D photo etch set. I just ordered one of those and kind of put these down in different areas. So we got the forward, port and starboard there, and then two in the back. Underneath, let's see if we can get there. There's three. There's one on the bow here, and then port and starboard back there. So again, yeah, left the bridge area, the BC deck as it's called, is pretty much untouched. I put some of the other photo etch stuff back here, just as, you know, kind of decoration. Let's see. We've got two things up here. They could be maybe phasers or photon torpedoes or something. I don't know. I just thought that they look kind of cool. They do light up when we turn it on. There's two little decals here. Now that is a little paint nick. So I kind of tried to bury that with a little decal. It kind of does an okay job. And then over here in the corners, here, there, and then back here, these I did kind of reminiscent of those 4 white lights on the Constitution class. So just kind of an homage, a little tip of the cap there to it. I just thought it would kind of be cool. And plus we needed a little bit more things on the saucer section to make it a little bit more interesting. The windows here are all drilled out and filled in with the Tester's clear window stuff. Either that or Solares, kind of a mix and match on there. These are just random windows that I drilled in to the saucers. Not too many of them. And there's no lights here on the saucer section except for the bridge area, and there's that. So let's rotate it here a little bit more, and you can see here. Well, I'm going to put it on pause here, and let's get a flashlight so we can see better. Okay, there's a flashlight. So you can see here, we've got the nice window right there that we put in. I dug that. That came out pretty cool. And there's some striped panel pennants there. And this says Constellation B and CC1. Oh, no, it doesn't have the registry number. Or does it? No, it says Starship, U.S.S. Constellation, United Federation of Planets. These kind of went on a little bit wavy. Again, I had to kind of just stop when I thought it looked okay, because these custom decals, you get one shot with them. The actual pennant there that you see with the Starfleet logo, that's from the original kit set of decals, and then the verbiage, the words there, Constellation, are the ones that I printed out. Here's a close-up of the window. It came out okay. Like I said, it looks real chunky when you're zoomed in this far. Here's an underside of the pylons there. These came out pretty good. The seam lines there could have been better, but gosh, if you go back and look at the hole I had to drill to get these in there, I'm pretty satisfied with the work, especially underneath where the pylons connect to the nacelle. That was almost all drilled out, you guys. It was a mess. So, here's some more close-up of the nacelle work there. Really, really chunky. There's another custom decal we made. And let's go to the back of the ship. I have to rotate it around a little bit more. And you can see here, this is the same display base that we had for the dual build of the Enterprise that we did there. It's a nice little base. It's 1 foot long and 8 inches deep, and it does not come with a bottom. I got this at Michael's, and it was like $8.99. And I just did a pre-stain of the wood, and then I think it's willow, the wood stain, and I did not put any polyurethane on it. It's just a straight stain. I thought it looked pretty nice. Let's see, here's the back there. Let's zoom in. There I put another registry number and the Constellation, if it will zoom in. The nacelles, again, we'll go look on the top. Now these little decals there were for the underneath of the nacelles on the Enterprise C kit. And then the pennants here that I moved back a tad. And then there's that. Let's see, we're going up here. This guy here, this yellow thing, is actually a thruster decal. They're supposed to go on the 4 corners like this, but I lost one of them somewhere. I was putting them on, getting them ready to put on, and one of them just disappeared on me. So we just put 3 back there. Just kind of decoration. Again, some more photo etch stuff there. I think that rectangle thing right here is for the impulse engine, I believe, on the Enterprise D. Again, this is the photo etch for the 1400 Enterprise D. There's a nice panel, the stripe there going down the spine. This here for the pylon, this is a rigid styrene piece that I got, and I cut that and glued that on, painted that a different color. And then over here was just done with masking right there. This is kind of a cool shot right there. Let's turn it this way. So I wanted to show you guys one thing. It might be hard to see, or maybe easy to see. The nacelles here, yeah, now you can see it. These things are pointing up, so I'm exaggerating the angle, but they're like this. And they are not parallel with the saucer section. That is just a mistake. I didn't know how to fix it once these things were in there, and I thought they were straight, and then when I put the saucer section on, there was just no way to do it. I couldn't compensate by lifting the saucer section up and then filling it. It just would have been too unstable. I had to have this connection here flush right there. So since we're underneath, let's look at that. Right here, I put the registry number here. Again, reminiscent to the Constitution class. There's another one on the other side that's facing the opposite way. And then I put U.S.S. Constellation on the bow right there underneath. And these are secondary support here. So the support that comes with it, it just wasn't enough. It wasn't sticking in there. There's a little piece you put in the belly there that the rod goes into. For some reason, it just wasn't going in. Again, probably from warping and all the stuff that I did to customize and get rid of all these panel lines here. Because remember, these were panel lines. I put a lot of CA glue there and the Instaset, and it probably warped this plastic a little bit. So I had to kind of fashion this wooden stand there. You can see I kind of curved it to the contour of the ship as best as I could. and then I had to make a support up front to balance the ship. It's very wobbly here, so once I get it to its home, I'm not going to really touch this thing. I kind of made this wooden support there to hold it up there. It was a bare to wire as well. It was just, this thing just gave me problems all the way throughout, you guys. Maybe it's just kind of a cursed kit, but I'm hoping you guys like it. I do think it's a cool concept. I think, like looking at it from this distance, it's a neat looking ship. It's very like a futuristic Constitution class. So the idea is good. I learned so much on this, you guys. I don't know if I'm going to do another custom build, at least not this intricate. I'm not going to change things that much for a while. I'm going to go back to the basics here until I get a little bit more brave. And if I do customize something, I'll do it small. I'll do 1 or 2 pieces of it. Just not quite there. But again, this was fun. It looks cool. I'm going to be happy to put this in the collection, and it will be part of it forever, my collection forever. Okay, so without further ado, let's turn this thing on, huh? And we'll see what we can see. So right there's the power. So we turned it on, and all the lights come on really nice. Let's turn off the light over here, and you can see here the windows lit up really good, especially this big window. Again, like all the other videos, the lighting you see on here, you guys, is a lot brighter than what you see in real life. There's actually a little frame in there kind of splitting this thing in two, but you can't see it. Here's some light leaks still that were prevalent on the nacelles. Again, I just couldn't do it. And these things are flush. On the Enterprise D and Enterprise C kits, these nacelles are rigid and they're recessed back into this piece a little bit. On these, I had to fill it all the way to the front, keep sanding it down to get it flat. It was hours of work, and you can see here it still is really sloppy stuff. So again, I wish that would have come out better, but what can you do? And then over to the Bussard collectors, I did fix them up a little bit, but they're still chunky. Again, you see these orange spots that you see, they're not orange to the naked eye, and especially here, this blob. It doesn't look as bad in real life as the camera's picking it up. Another thing, you guys, the nacelles turned out very close together here. I wish they would have been further apart. That would have been a lot cooler. It's just not the way it turned out. But when I had to put these things in there, I was kind of guessing, and once I put one in, I had to make the other one to match. So let's see, we do have the blinking lights here. I only chose to do the navigation bow light just flashing. The port and starboard green and red lights are just solid state, just like in the Enterprise D in the show, they don't blink. And then under here as well, they're not blinking. We do have the dual navigation lights on the back of the nacelles, top and bottom, which came out pretty cool. I do like that. That does look nice. That's like they're supposed to be flashing, at least with the Enterprise D. They were like that. And then up here, we do have the strobe there that's a little bit faster blink pattern. And I think this is the T.O.S. Enterprise lighting for the Tenna Controls basic board that we get for like $15. So anyway, guys, well, this is it. Really don't know what else to say. I hope you guys like it. I really appreciate your patience with this and all the comments and encouragement you guys have been giving me. It's really kept me plugging along. And again, I am so sorry this has taken me so long, probably 3 months on this. That's just way too long. So we're going to go, like I said, we're going to go simple. We're going to go an NX-01 refit next, just very basic. And we're going to ship that off to Admiral Teag. And again, like in the intro, if you missed it, you can catch me on Saturdays where on Admiral Teag's channel. It's called Saving Star Trek. That's the YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. And you can join us on Saturday nights. And we do watch parties. Right now we are watching the Star Trek Enterprise. We're about to hit the Xindi arc. We're going to kind of glance over that and get through the rest of the series so we can get to do watch parties and reviews of the original series on by Thanksgiving, but around November time, I think, is what we're doing. But we have a lot of fun, you guys. It's a really cool community over there. We're just talking Star Trek and throwing out our opinions and everything. All opinions are welcome. If you like an episode and we hate it, or we hate it and you like it, or same thing, everyone's opinion is good. There are no bad opinions, no bad reviews. If you like the show, you like the show, and we all love Star Trek. I mean, you can tell I do. And if you do too, come join us and join the discussion and watch party, and we would love to have you. Anyway, guys, that's it here for this. I'm going to turn off the lights, a couple of more lights here, and so we can see this a little bit more. But again, I'm not super thrilled with the lighting, so I'm not going to detail it too much. Oh yeah, here's the deflector array. You can see kind of there's some tape or something in there that's still shining through. I did kind of paint this as a web pattern. It did come out pretty nice. Let's zoom in a little bit. Came out okay. That one's pretty good. And then it took quite a bit of putty around here to get that to fill in. And then we've got a photon launcher in the front that I put a light on. Anyway, so let's turn off some more lights. We'll take a quick look at this, and then we'll call this one done. Okay, guys, stand by. Okay, here she is, everyone. This is without much. I've got one little light on in the corner here, and she does look pretty cool when she's lit up. And, when you look at it from certain angles, it really looks great. Yeah, the base is good. I'm going to keep probably buying this base here for some of my ships. I don't quite like the standard ones that come with them. I like these things to be a little bit special. Anyway, we'll swing around here. From the front view, certain angles of this, it does look pretty cool. So again, a little bit disappointed with some areas of this, but very happy with others. So we did learn a lot. Got some nice reflections going on there, and the ship does self-illuminate, which is always really cool. So let's get a cool angle here for the thumbnail, maybe. No, not that one. That one shows the chunky nacelles. I don't want that. We want a thumbnail that works. So why don't we do that right there? We'll do that for the thumbnail. And with that, everybody, we'll call this one done. And I really appreciate your patience, your subscriptions, your time, your comments, everything, your emails. And we'll see you all down the road, everyone. Take care.